Hey family, it's Tasha, MAMABEAR Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. I just feel very, very blessed today. I had an old friend reach out to me and I am just feeling pretty good. The sun is out, chickens are doing well, family is doing well. And I'm just trying to slow down and with all the chaos that's happening and spend time with my family, spend time with friends. Made another connection this morning with an old friend, so that felt good. So thank you, sister, for reaching out to me. And today I just want to really talk basically about there's something looming, right? There's something looming very close, there's this big sense that there's something right around the corner that's getting ready to just bite us, right? To get us, to push us off the cliff, to finally make us start to really go into some sort of chaos. And a lot of people will tell you, oh, they know what that is. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And overall, you know, the theme is the same. We prepare, we stockpile, we're getting ready for different events. Some of us are getting ready for actual natural disasters that happen in our area, normal seasonal things, weather things. Some people are like really big and really amped up with the political stuff and what's happening on that forefront and all the people running and that drama that's going to ensue. And it's not that that stuff is not important and that it doesn't have a place. It's just that it is such big topics that can really just drown out the goal of really being self-sufficient and moving forward. So today, you guys like lists, I'm going to give you 8 things that you can do right now to kind of get ready for this big thing that's about to happen. People are waiting for this big thing to happen, but baby, it's a slow burn. There's stuff that's already happened, but we're selling it as normalcy, that it's normal, that the way things are going is fine. And it's just, although it sucks and people are struggling and a lot of bad stuff is happening, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's normal. It's supposed to happen. We're just adapting. Life is not always good. There's bad and you just have to deal with it, right? And I refuse to think like that, right? I refuse to think that, who cares that things are going left, to not ask the questions of why things are going left or why things are going bad, and to just be quiet and just to move forward and say, well, this is the way it's supposed to go. And yes, it sucks, but it's what we have to deal with. And I would say be active. Be proactive in getting ready and preparing for the different things that you and your family might need to prepare for, because nobody is coming to help you. And there is something looming. There's something big that is going to come. That is going to be that thing that people are just like, whoa, this is bad. This is very, very bad. And it's going to be one day fine and one day not. So what's some stuff you can do? Number 1, cash. Baby, I cannot stress this enough. I need to take out your cash, take out cash, take out cash. We just personally went through a situation with Chase Bank where Chase customers, the entire bank, they had all types of folks that, had duplicate transactions. So whatever transactions you had, whether you Zelled somebody money, whether you made payments, regular payments, there was all these duplications, and people woke up with, thousands of dollars missing from their accounts. Unfortunately, they were able to, corrected, I'll say, within 24 hours, right? Woke up the next day and it was corrected. But that was a big deal. And that was a lot of customers, and they were freaking out that people were going to leave, right? That the customers were just going to leave, and which would obviously, especially in today's world and today's dynamic, not good for a bank for a bunch of customers to walk away. So it was a big deal. And I didn't see that much coverage. I knew about it because we happened to be a Chase customer, and we had to deal with that, right? And so that's how we knew. But I can only imagine how many customers there is and how many people this affected. Number 2 thing is top off fuels. And when I say fuels, this is more than, just go get your gas, top off your tank, keep it, that normal prepper thing, like keep your tank full and all the. No, I'm talking about take a look at your house, take a look at your household things that take things that take batteries, things that take power like USB. What type of fuel types do you need for your cooking sources? Is it butane? Is it propane? Is it extra propane for the barbecue outside? Like, what are the different fuel types you need? Is it gas to run something, to run a gas generator? Is it whatever it is, get those fuel types, get them topped off. Take a look at what you have, get those. If it's oil lamps, maybe it's the oil for that. If it's kerosene for a kerosene heater or a kerosene fan or whatever it is, right? Do you have the fuels for it? And seeing exactly where you're at and topping that stuff off and topping those preps off and making sure that you have them. So all your different fuel types. This could be fire starter stuff, right? So when I say fuel, I talk about a lot of different things on this channel when we talk about fuel. And so what are those things that assist you in fueling something, okay? Next thing is, third thing I have is your 72-hour must-haves. Now, I know you guys, you're like, oh, really? You're going to talk about 72-hour kits? No, I'm not, because I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of 3-day kits, 72-hour kits, 48-hour kits, 1-day kits. This will feed your family for 3 days. I'm not a fan of those. I'm just saying, I'm a fan of real food, real ingredients, real preparedness as far as how are you going to cook, how are you going to cook and warm up food. I am a fan of meals ready to eat. I am a fan of freeze-dried food, absolutely. But I'm not a fan of these gimmicks of like, hey, this is a 72-hour kit, or this is this, or this is that, because it gives the, notion or idea to somebody that that is going to be enough for them, that's all they need to get through an emergency event. And that is just not true. I mean, even the baddest of the storms can last more than 3 days easily, right? A power outage can last easily past that. And so when we put that out there and that energy about, oh, 72 hours, 3 days worth of food, or 7 days worth of food, that's the magic numbers. That's not the magic numbers, right? And so you should be changing your mindset that it's food in general. You need way more than 3 days worth of food to survive an event. You need way more than 7 days or 10 days or these 14 days or these numbers that people throw out there like, hey, this is going to happen. You need to prepare. Make sure you have 10 days worth of food. I seen that on just the other day on an article. Hey, somebody's being warned. We're being warned to prepare. Make sure you have 10 days worth of food. And I'm like, 10 days worth of food, you guys, is nothing. Like, you realize that's 2 weeks. Do you realize it's just not enough? Okay. So please, please, please make sure that you're stockpiling and you are moving towards a goal that is nowhere close to having 72 hours or a couple weeks worth of food. You need much more than that. But by 72-hour must-haves, I'm talking about, hey, if SHTF was going to happen in the next 72 hours, what are the things that you are like, I have to make sure I have? I need to make sure that I have coffee. I have to make sure that I have coffee creamer. I need lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. I want to stockpile with that stuff, right? That stuff. Maybe it's, I need fuels, right? Maybe it's, I need to pull out some cash. Maybe it's, I need to fill all the water containers around the house. Maybe it's, I need to go ahead and top off all my rain barrels outside, and all my other rain catchments or water catchments, right? What is it that I need to get? What are my feel goods? I need chocolate. I need some M&Ms. We need to have our snacks. We need to get some, make sure we've topped off on our board games. Like, basically, if SHTF was going to happen, what are those last things that you've been putting off that you're like, I need to make sure I have that. I want that, because if there was something was going to happen in the next couple of days, what is it that I definitely need that, okay? And you get that, and you push through, and you buy those things, and you get them. So what are your 72-hour must-haves, and get those done? And that is basically, something's going to pop off in 72 hours. What are those last-minute things you need? What are those feel-good things you need? What are those things you need that you know you're going to need in a stressful environment to help you get yourself through a stressful environment? What is it that you're going to need? Number 4 is your special people, right? Ensuring that your special people are covered down on. Your children, your infants, toddlers, your babies, right? Your elderly, any special needs folks that are with you, children, adults, it doesn't matter. Your pets, right? Your livestock, anything that is dependent, a living thing that is dependent on you. Like, do you have all the things that you need for them? Think about them specifically. What are all the specific medicines they might need, specific needs they might need? Maybe there's certain things that they're doing or they need every day. And do you have that? And are you stockpiled on that? And again, stockpile, but just baby step it out on what exactly you need, and keep preparing. But you need to think about all the special people in your life right now, today, because something is looming and you don't want to get caught not being prepared. And a lot of times people get stressed. They're thinking, okay, well, Tasha said water, food, meds, and you're doing water, food, meds. And then there's something so simple, so basic, like maybe medicine for an infant, and you have an infant and you just haven't thought it through, and it doesn't make you a bad mom or a bad dad. It's just that you're so so stressed and you're trying to prepare and you're trying to get these things and you just forget. Or people that forget their animals, that preparing for their animals, right? Or don't prepare as hard for their animals because they're like, well, they're animals, I love them. And they're just not thinking, oh, I need to think long-term for my animals as well. I need to think long-term for my livestock, for chickens. I have chickens, for example. I have to think long-term. Bedding long-term, food long-term, water long-term. Like, how do you do that? What do you do when there's no more food on the shelves for them? There's no more feed for them. What are your self-sufficiency things that you've started up for them? What can they eat? Knowing that knowledge, like, very important that you're thinking about them. What are the medicines if you're going to take them to a vet, or you're going to call a chicken vet here? Like, what are the things that you might need to handle life with having chickens, right? With a grid down, with a situation where things have gone left, okay? So special people. Number 5, security fortification. I mean, this is a big one for me, right? This is just as important as stockpiling and preparing and being self-sufficient is your level of security and fortification. So walk your property at night, take a look at things one more time, take a look at locks, make sure things are not broken, windows, doors, anything that's entry, any kind of dark spots, getting motion sensor lights. Think about security, think about eyes, cameras, think about grid down and how you would continue to do that if possible, right? Think about fortification. What do you have? Do you still need to get a weapon? Do you still need to get ammo? Do you still need to stock up on ammo? Like, what is it that you need to do? Still in regards to security fortification. Number 6 is grid down, right? Preparing. Again, you know me, I say water, food, meds, then you prepare for grid down. If you prepare for grid down, you're preparing for a lot of things, okay? There's a lot of different areas that you have to think about when you think about grid down. And how do you live life with no power? And if you do those sections and concentrate on those areas and take care of those, you take care of a lot of events, a lot of bad things and crisis, emergency crisis that could happen. You're going to cover down naturally because you've prepared. It's just like people who prepare for hurricanes. They're prepared for a lot of different emergency events because they naturally prepare for hurricanes in their area, right? They have all the things, they have the knowledge, they know how to try to protect their homes, board up their homes, do different things to get ready, right? And so that mindset is there. But also people that get ready for hurricanes get complacent as well, right? And don't stay up on that stuff, or don't take stuff as serious, or maybe don't think of other things that could happen. But I'm just taking it as a basic line that if you prepare for grid down, you're prepared for a lot of different things that could come your way. Okay, even being prepared grid down and somebody loses a job in your house, you preparing for grid down can help in that sense, because part of grid down is there's different areas. Food, water, meds is part of that, right? If you're preparing food, you're stockpiling food, somebody loses a job, you're helping with that. You're preparing for grid down by having cash and having available cash and saving that. That is helping if somebody loses their job, right? Because now you've had some cash flow, right? So just think it through, right? Water, food, meds, grid down. Grid down is my number 6. Number 7 thing I have is complete your skills and knowledge, right? Get all the skills and knowledge you can get. Get your hand on every single book that you can get. You know, just saw this the other day, an article about the Bible. So it's starting, the whole thing about the Bible. Somebody was saying that schools or a school district had just gotten rid of the Bible or outcasted it. It said it wasn't a thing because it was sex ridden or something like that. Like, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Like, I've read some romance novels that made me blush, right? So, you know, it's just the most ridiculous claim, but persecution, I mean, that is coming one day. So that's not just for the Bible, right? That's for all books, any kind of knowledge. How dare you learn about something? So get your hands on that stuff now, right? 1984, baby, get your books. Second thing too with books and knowledge is get the books, get the manuals, but now is the time. You have the time to get their skills, learn a skill, learn how to do something, learn how to do CPR, learn how to set a tourniquet, learn how to do whatever it is, right? Learn how to suture, like a deep cut. Like, that's something so simple. You can go on Amazon right now, buy you a practice suture kit, and you can practice literally, you know, stitching somebody up. And it seems so basic, or it seems so, well, how hard can it be and whatever. But just imagine doing that one time where you had it, you learned how to string it, you practice doing it, right? I'm telling you, just doing that one time is going to make the first time you doing it much better, right? So you just need to Think about the things that you want to learn and learn those things and add them to your, your skill set, right? Learn how to do stuff. So it's get the books, it's get the manuals, get the how-tos, all this stuff, right? But be thinking about teaching yourself different skills, teaching yourself how to hunt, how to skin an animal. We have chickens. Just the other day, I was like, man, at some point we're going, not anytime soon, we're trying to move and stuff, but at some point, we're going to have to get rid of these chickens, right? We're going to have to kill these chickens, cull these chickens. We're going to have to figure out how to defeather them, kill them, dispatch them in a humanely way, all the things we need for that, all the fancy things we can buy, the knowledge of how to do that, how to do it fast, how to do it swiftly, cleanly, all of that stuff, how to set up a clean room, all of that stuff, right? That's knowledge. And so that's what I mean is you got to just keep teaching yourself how to do things, okay? The number 8 I have is start self-sufficiency, right? I don't care, baby, if it's like, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to put up motion sensor lights because if it's grid down, I want to be able to see outside at night, whatever, right? I want to be able to keep maybe some thieves away, right? Some criminals, and I just want to be able to see. And somebody could say, well, that's not really self-sufficient. Well, it is. If you lose power and you now are not depending on the power company to provide you something, you provided that for yourself. You bought that, you got it, you got that in your solar, and you're not depending on the electric company to provide you light outside your home at night, okay? It seems so simple, right? But it's what you tell yourself it is. It's what you believe self-sufficiency to be, right? This could be getting chickens, getting some sort of meat animal. This could be starting to grow your garden, right? This could be starting an herb garden on your dining room wall, in your apartment. This could be many, many things, okay? So you don't have to think like, oh, well, she means a homestead on 40 acres and she means, animals and growing and, all this stuff and living off grid. And that's not necessarily the case when I talk about self-sufficiency. How do you continue to do things for yourself without depending on another entity or another person to do something for you, right? Learning a skill set is a way towards that, right? If you learn, let's say, for example, to dispatch a chicken, right? And you're not having to call somebody else in and them do it for you, or you take an animal to the butcher and have the butcher the animal. But if you know that skill set to be able to dispatch an animal yourself the right way, the humanely way, and skin it and do all that, and then now you're taking that entity of a butcher, for example, out of the picture. Now, I'm not saying that's just an example, but same thing. It's same thing with people that get solar power, right? They're trying to get away from, owing or having a electric bill, owing them and being connected into the grid. It's people who like septic systems. They're not, into the grid. If there's a backup or there's something like that, it's on them. It's not on the city septic system and grid down maybe, and all this stuff happens, and now I have to worry about sewer coming up and coming into my house from that. I'm totally detached. It's like a well you're detached. You're not dependent on a city or a company to, one, provide you water, and two, you're trusting that they're going to make it clean and safe to drink and that nothing's going to happen. And that's what I mean. A well takes you off of that. It takes you away from that. And so self-sufficiency, it is those big picture things, but it can be little baby things as well, okay? I don't care if you're like, oh, I want to make soap. I want to start making my own soap and I don't want to buy it anymore. That's you learning a skill set, learning how to do something, and then you take that dynamic out. Now, you don't need the store anymore for soap because you've taught yourself how to do it, and you don't need another entity to go and get something, right? And that's why we make things. That's why we preserve food. That's why you grow food and preserve it. And hopefully you're building upon that to where eventually you don't need the store, right? Yeah, maybe you go to the store to get a few things, but if something happens, an event happens, and there is no more grocery store, you're not losing it because you've set things in motion to continue to have food for you and your family, to continue to provide for you and your family, okay? So those are my 8 things. I hope you guys enjoyed them. I'd love to hear in the comments below if you guys have any extra things, different things you would add to the list, things you think that we should do now. Things are looming. There's something big about to happen, and I can't put my finger on it. I couldn't tell you a time frame. I just have this swelling in my gut that we're close. We're close. We're already in it. There's a slow burn, but we're close to like a flare up of something much, much bigger that's going to impact much more people, right? And how are we going to react, and how are you and your family going to live in that dynamic and survive, to be honest, okay? So anyway, be well, be kind, do everything in love, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.